Welcome to Exhale with Sonya, a space for stillness, strength, and stories that heal. Breathe in, breathe out, hit that like button, share with your friends, and subscribe. Let's go on a journey.
Hello, and welcome to Exhale with Sonya. We're back.
Back again.
Yeah, she's not mute.
No, never.
She has been going through some things, though.
Some things.
We're going to talk about it. And I am producer Mike. Thank you for joining us on another episode. So, Sonya, how are you?
I'm better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been a little while.
Yeah, it has.
So why don't you tell us what's been going on?
Well, the last time we had set up to record a podcast, we had to cancel last minute.
Last minute.
I apologize. I had to have emergency back surgery.
Yeah. Which isn't like, a little toe out of alignment or a tiny little thing.
No.
This was
My
pretty,
whole back.
yeah, pretty hectic.
Yes. And it's not something that just came on like boom and then I had to have back surgery. This was
Deemed
something-
emergency surgery.
Yeah, it was considered a neurological emergency. And
Okay.
super geeking out for a moment. This podcast is
Yeah.
faith, fitness, and neuroscience. I was actually on the neuroscience floor in the hospital.
So you were asking a lot of questions.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't shut up the whole time. You guys know me. So
Okay. So what was the actual surgery and what part of your back?
So I had a microdiscectomy, and it was on my L5 S1. So that's the bottom of your lumbar spine
Okay.
and the top of your sacrum.
So kind of like pretty much right in the middle of your back?
Yeah, the back in the lower back.
Lower back.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Your cervical spine, just like you eat breakfast at 5, has 5 vertebrae. Your thoracic spine, you eat lunch at noon. You have 12 vertebrae. Your lumbar spine has 5 vertebrae. We eat dinner at 5.
Okay.
It's just an easy way to remember, you know?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like that. So what did they have to do?
So I had like the worst pain in the world down my what's called my SI nerve.
Okay.
And there was so much that I tried to do to repair it myself, and it just wasn't working.
So that's how long has that been going on?
So I've always had back issues in that area. A lot of it's my fault, different form, when you're doing different lifts and things at the gym.
The
and
powerlifting.
Yeah, well, don't you blame it on
I'm
the
not blaming
powerlifting.
anything yet. We'll get into the causes later. This is about what happened.
When you have a gym to yourself and you're doing things, without eyes on you, sometimes your body just goes out of form. And a lot of it was not being true to myself and teaching yoga. I was teaching like 6 classes a week, and just think of all the forward folds you do. And I'm not a walk around teacher. I teach from my body.
Right. So you're doing it with
So,
everybody
yep.
multiple times
Yes.
a day.
So think seated,
Yeah.
we do seated forward folds. You stand up, we do standing postures, you think forward folds. You lay down on your back to cool down before Shavasana, pull the knees to the chest,
That's when I fall asleep.
forward fold. Yes, that's your favorite part.
Yes,
exactly.
it is.
And just overall, carrying kids on a hip, picking
Mm-hmm.
up kids, not paying attention to the way you're picking them up because they're screaming and crying. So it was just like
Lift with your legs, not with your back.
deadlift with your legs, not with your back. That's right.
Yes.
So it's just a lot of everything together. I have to say that the initial pain started in February of this year.
Okay.
I started noticing a little bit of nerve pain, like going down my leg. And that didn't feel good. But you know me, I just go. And
Right.
the thing that I tell all my students in yoga is listen to your body. Well, guilty. I was not listening to my body. I was just continuing to go. And there came a point about 3 months ago where the pain got so bad. And when I say SI pain, a lot of you have maybe experienced this before. But just think about a string from the top of your hip that goes all the way down the outside of your leg on your right side, down behind your knee, down your calf,
Right.
into your ankle, into your foot. Now think of like the most burning pain you've ever had in your life. I lived that, and it was not easy. On Faith, Fitness, and Neuroscience, you know, I have a lot of trauma from childhood and different things. So I'm really easily able to disassociate.
Right.
So
and
a lot
just
of that,
push through it,
right?
and not think about it.
It would just keep going. A lot of things changed when I hired Dr. Jamie. Shout out to Dr. Jamie. She is a physical therapist, a powerlifting physical therapist.
Nice.
So not only was she giving me the right exercises to help heal that area, she was also paying attention and correcting my form. And there was a lot of aha
Right. Yeah.
moments
It's
going on.
It's the thing when you get into the muscle memory of things.
Yeah.
You build the bad habits without realizing you're building the bad habits, and until somebody actually points it out and makes that quick little it can be
Right.
just a quick little adjustment, but then you do have that aha moment of, oh yeah, I guess I haven't been doing it that way, and now you can actually be more conscious about making those right decisions.
Absolutely. And that doesn't make me a bad trainer, because in my body, I was having problems with my form. I am
Right.
able to see someone and be able to pick apart their form and help them.
Right. You
Again,
can't always see it in yourself.
that's why we video.
Yes.
Video your lifts, go back, look at them. It's not narcissistic to video your lifts. It's so good to go back and see from a different point of view
Right.
how you are lifting.
Make sure you're doing it correctly.
Yes.
And then you can say, I look good.
Exactly. And in Dr. Jamie's defense, if I would have started this back in February, I'm pretty sure that I would be in a whole different boat right now. So I just think it was too late, and the damage was already done.
Right.
So
Obviously it was emergency surgery. So what happened that day that was the catalyst, that basically the straw that broke the camel's back? Or
Well,
broke your back, rather.
you kind of know, because I had to cancel last minute
Right,
with
yeah,
you.
uh-huh.
We were going to record a podcast. I was at the gym that morning, and I was walking 10,000 steps a day, because when I walked, the pain would go away. When
Mm-hmm. Right.
I exercised,
It was the
pain
movement.
would be tolerable. Yes. All of a sudden, I'm just walking on the treadmill like always, and my left foot started going numb. And I was like, that's kind of weird. That feels funny, like numb, like Novocaine,
Right.
like touching it.
And it's not
you
like
could-
you're got something on it that makes it go numb.
Right.
You're just
exactly
walking.
So it started to go numb, and I was like, that's really weird. And I still had like a connection, like I could lift my foot, squeeze my toes, but I didn't have any feeling. Well, that feeling started creeping up into my anterior tibialis, aka your shin. And I called my doctor, who 2 weeks prior I went and got a cortisone shot, because everyone was raving about cortisone shots, which again, I think would have helped me if I would have done things a long time ago.
Right, but cortisone shots don't actually fix anything. They just mask the pain so that you can continue doing what you're doing. But because
Right.
it's masking the pain, then you're just wearing down whatever problem you're having. And eventually you can only get a certain number of cortisone shots a year because of the effect it has. And it will eventually lose the effect over time.
Right. And I actually had what's called a cortisone flare up after I had that. So I was actually in more pain.
Right.
And honestly, the cortisone shot I didn't see any difference except for that flare up in pain. So I called my doctor's office, and he called me right back, and he's like, you need to go to the ER right now. And I was like, oh, perfect. I'm going to go to Fawcett. My best friend works there. I know she'll help expedite and get me
Right.
in. And he's
Yeah.
like, no, stop. Do not go to Fawcett. And I was like, okay. He's like, you need to go to the ER on Toledo Blade here in Northport, and because this needs to be handled by Sarasota Memorial. This is a emergency. So I was like, okay. So I drove up there and told them what was going on. I was only in that ER. It's like a
It's like
part
the
of
quick,
Sarasota
yeah,
Memorial,
but it's
still
annex
a ER.
satellite.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was literally there for 15 minutes. This literally was...
You
how many
drove
times?
yourself there.
I did. How many
Yeah.
times when I say literally?
Literally.
I literally drove myself there.
And I was
I
there
w-
for literally
15
15
minutes.
minutes. And then they literally told me.
I walk in, I tell the receptionist, literally, here comes a lady with a wheelchair. And she's like, get in the wheelchair. We're going to take you back. And I was like, no, I don't need a wheelchair. Yeah. So after
I just can't feel my
bickering
foot.
back and forth, I was like, I can walk. She's like, get in the wheelchair. So finally, I was like, okay, fine. So I get in the wheelchair, independent woman over here. And she wheels me back to triage, does all the questioning like they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Wheels me to my room. I had my belt bag on and my phone in my hand. And I take my belt bag off because here I am in the ER, you know. Oh, and I wanted to add, when I got out of my car, walking into that ER, I took a picture and I put it on my Snapchat. And I was like, I filter things through my Snapchat. So I share everything on my Snapchat, and then Instagram gets what I want to share.
Okay.
So I said, oh, great. I don't want to sit here all day long. It's an ER, right?
Yeah.
And I heard a still small voice, not audible. But it was God. He was like, hold my hand. Here we go. And I was like, okay. So back to triage. They take me to the room. I take my belt bag off. I set it down on the bed. I pick up my phone and literally knock on the door. Literally. The door opens. Here comes the doctor. Like, who gets the doctor right away?
Immediately in the tiny room while you wait.
Immediately comes in. Behind him is the phlebotomist, gives me my IV. He said, you need to be admitted to Sarasota Memorial right now. And I'm like, my foot's just numb. Like, everything's fine.
Yeah.
She's giving me my IV. He's typing stuff in the computer. Right behind her comes 3 amazing guys. I call them my angels. They are the ambulance drivers.
I said, you don't need the wheelchair. We'll carry you.
No, but they almost dropped me on the stretcher. So they have the stretcher. They wheel me in the wheelchair to the stretcher and get me in the stretcher, take me out. They're putting me in the ambulance, and the one guy like, whoa, and I go to the side. So they must be new. I don't know. They were amazing. I'm not talking crap about them.
Yes.
They get me in there. Before they got me in there, like, they shot me up with some pain pills, like Demerol, right into my IV. Did not even touch my nerve pain. So
Really?
now I'm loopy and my leg hurts really bad. That's on my right side. My left foot is numb.
So your left foot is numb, but it's your right nerve down your leg that is hurting. Okay.
Yep. I also had numbness from my hip down, halfway down my thigh as well.
So it was moving up.
Yeah, so well, that was there first, but I just thought that was just like a coincidence or something.
Of course.
Bodies are
the
crazy.
Random numbness.
Yes. So they get me into the ambulance, and of course I talked their ear off, which was really cool because they all were into lifting and stuff like that.
And you were loopy?
Yeah, I was super loopy. And they get me into the Sarasota Memorial, and they put me in the ER first, and literally back to back, a doctor, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Get dressed in this. We're doing another MRI. I mean, like, there was no time that I was waiting.
Yeah.
After the MRI, they admitted me up into my own room on the neuroscience floor.
Did they explain why they were moving so fast?
Because it was an emergency.
Okay.
There was a lot more that was going on than the first MRI that I personally had done. So they wanted to get me into surgery right away. And they said, I mean, now here we're talking, it's like 8:30 at night. And my husband and my son, they came up to see me, brought me a phone charger. We know how important phone chargers are.
Oh, yes.
They left pretty quickly, and right at like 9 o'clock, the neurosurgeon comes in, and he's like, I just went over your MRI. He goes, you need to be in surgery. We're going to have you in surgery tomorrow. So I was like, whoa, this is crazy, right?
Yeah.
So he comes in the next morning, and he said, you need surgery right away. He goes, but I have to go attend to a guy who has like broken his back.
Yeah.
So I have to push your surgery to Friday morning. And I was like, okay.
Another day in the hospital.
Another day in the hospital. They grounded me to my bed. If I wanted to get up, I had to call the nurse, and I had an alarm. If I got up out of the bed,
like a fall alarm.
it would go off. So, I'm a rule breaker.
So she
but
was prisoner for a day in a hospital room.
yes, and so grateful. One of my yoga students came and visited me. I had a few friends who reached out and kind of knew, like, hey, where you been? What's going
Yeah.
on? And a couple of friends that were really there for me the whole time. So
Good.
I spent Thursday up there by myself. And I kept walking because I kept asking them, like, when can I walk? So they would turn my alarm off. They would walk with me and just pacing around the hallways. And let's go back real quick to, like, in the middle of my pain, because there was a good 2.5 months, like, I could not even see straight. I was in so much pain. I was literally just running on reserve.
Yeah.
So anything that I did over those 2.5 months, it wasn't all of me. It was just,
Right.
I was disassociated. I was just showing up.
Why didn't you try to look into it then?
Well, because, I asked a lot of people about this, and a lot of them healed it on their own. Even my chiropractor has a spot in his book where he helps someone heal a herniated disc on their own. I was just too far gone, but you can't see inside
Right.
of your body. So every day I would pray, God, take this from me. God, take this from me. And he would always tell me, I'm going to heal you in front of unbelievers. And I was like, okay, like, can we find some? I even had my pastor prayed over me, laid hands on me. And I'm a firm believer, because I have a Pentecostal background, of laying hands and praying on someone. And it's just still that still small voice, like, I'm going to heal you in front of a bunch of unbelievers. So after that, it still was my prayer every day, but to just watch what God actually did in those, like, few days, it just was amazing. So as I'm walking the halls of the hospital, like, I'm a prayer warrior, so I just, love to pray over everyone. And, it was great. And I got to talk to all the nurses were wonderful. And they even played Jesus music for me when I had my MRI.
Nice.
And yeah, that was really nice, because I'm so claustrophobic.
Oh,
So,
for that.
yep,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
put those headphones on, closed my eyes, and I was okay. So
Good.
yeah. And then they whisked me away the next morning. It was kind of cool to be by myself in the pre-op room, because you see everyone with their families and everything. And I just kind of listened I was like people watching. My nurse was amazing. She's setting me up, and, like, you got to get wiped down for surgery and stuff.
Right.
And she, I don't know if she saw my biceps or what. And she was like, do you work out? And I told her what I do. I'm a personal trainer, yoga instructor. And of course, she had to run and go get her phone to show me. She used to do bodybuilding.
That's
So
cool.
she showed me all her
Nice.
pictures
Yeah.
of her bodybuilding. And
Small world.
yep. And then I just fell asleep. And then someone would wake me up and they'd tell me something. And then I fall back asleep. And then I wake up. And then the surgeon was there. And then I got wheeled into the surgery room. And I was talking to them, because, that's my talent. It's talking. And all of a sudden, they were like, psh,
Yeah.
out I was.
Good night.
Yeah. And then I woke up, and I was so scared. I was not going to have the feeling in my legs when I woke up. And
Did they talk about any of the risks like that before the surgery?
Not really. Like, this dude was, like, super confident, and he was like, we've
Said,
done
"This
this
is what we
surgery
have to do."
before. Yep. And they wheeled me back to my room, and I call them the little Uber drivers that work at the Sarasota Memorial. Shout out to all you Uber drivers there. Like, kind of wish that was my job sometimes. Just pushing people around.
Yep.
Sounds like fun. I was like, I can walk. And I got up and I walked to my bed. I was so grateful. I sat down. Like, obviously, I had a nerve block, so I didn't have much pain until the next morning at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And then
it hits you.
Yeah, it was such a blessing, though, that I was admitted to the hospital, because I was able to work with, some pain medicine and get that under control before
They just let you out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. When I was wheeling down the hallway, I almost said road, I look up and I'm almost to my room, and I see, you know, my husband and my son. I see my dad and my best friend Lori, his best friend, and my friend Jessica and her daughter. And it was just like, I'm alive. I can feel my legs, and here's my friends and my family.
Yeah.
Like, I was so grateful for all of that. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So what all that you talk about having the surgery?
Yep.
So then what did they have to do in the surgery?
So I was told it's a microdiscectomy. They cut you. It's about 1.5 inches long. I think mine's like 2 inches. They go in, they move the muscle over, they drill through the bone, and they kind of like just clean up that herniated disc area. Well, when they got inside,
That's what's hitting the nerves.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when they got inside of my spine, first they couldn't move my muscle. So they had to, that's because it was too strong.
Too strong.
All that PT.
Yeah.
Dr. Jamie, thank you. All that muscle had to be dissected through. And I didn't find out about this until the 3-week appointment, which I think is great because, you know, placebo effect, like you think your body's healing a lot faster than it is.
Yeah.
So then they had to drill through the bone.
Mm-hmm.
And when they got in there, I had all these bone fragment pieces all over the herniated disc. Well, your SI nerve comes out of your spine, right side down your leg, and it's about the width of half of a straw.
Yeah.
And around it is a protective sheath. So back to those bone fragments, they were literally sawing through my SI nerve, touching the nerve, like
through the protective sheath of it.
Yes. And they told me, they're like, you must be like Wonder Woman or something because you should have been in way more
excruciating pain.
Exactly. But that's the best part of dissociation.
Yeah.
So they had to go in, they cleaned all those bone pieces off. And let's pause for a minute because yes, I did ask the surgeon to keep those bone fragments if he still had them. And he's like, what would you have done with them? And I was like, I would have put them in a jar.
Yeah, keep them in a jar.
Yeah, well, they're toxic waste, so I couldn't have them.
Oh, that's a shame.
I was told no. I was mad.
Nobody says no to me.
Yeah, that's right. So then they shaved down the bone.
Right.
And I had no nerve pain for quite a while, and that starts to kind of come back in, you know, like you're not using as much pain medicine.
Well, and not only that, if they have to move or dissect the muscle like you talked about, then that has to regrow or strengthen back up. I mean, and it's an invasive surgery, so it's still the actual trauma to the body in the surgery itself.
Right. And a lot of people that I talked to thought it was a non-invasive surgery. And from what they told me at my 3-week appointment, like that, it was pretty invasive and they normally don't have to go through the muscle like that.
So that's going to be extra recoup time too.
So instead of 6 weeks, it's 8 weeks now for recovery. I also got what's called drop foot, where my foot just kind of hangs. I mean, I've been doing PT and we're getting strength back in that foot. I notice when I'm tired.
Your left foot that was numb,
it's
or your right foot?
No, it's my right foot.
Okay.
So from that nerve.
So then did they explain why it was your left foot going numb when it was your right nerve that was in so much pain?
Nobody knows. The left side was an anomaly. The only thing I think might have happened is I was having a lot of decompression done at my chiropractor's office, and the neurosurgeon told me no more decompression, no more chiropractor. I mean, if you want to go to a chiropractor, that's you. That's just some advice that I'm going to take from my hypermobility. There's no point in getting adjusted because my body will just adjust itself back.
Yeah.
Very fast. And, you know, it might feel good for a minute, but risk over reward. So I love my chiropractor to death. I'm just not. So they think it
just gets
shifted,
a Christmas card now.
Yeah, exactly. They think it shifted some of the nerves and pinched the nerves as I got back compressed.
Yeah.
So that's why there was numbness down that leg.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So then now with your life and really your job now moving forward, what are you doing now to make sure stuff like that doesn't happen now, whether it's through your yoga, your lifting, and obviously you're not going to go to the chiropractor anymore. And
Right.
that, again, that's your body, your decision you have to make for that.
Right.
So what other choices are you having to make now?
Definitely with lifting, I'm going to make sure that I have a coach who is taking
Watching.
care of me, who is watching me, who is paying attention to the little things, but
The
also,
form,
yes,
yeah.
also working with Dr. Jamie, because she also works with your powerlifting coach. So that is a must. And with yoga, I am going to scale it back from using my body so much and listening to my body like I teach them to, and teaching with my voice. I'm able to show certain positions, but I'm not going to teach from my mat anymore.
Right.
As an honor to myself to represent, to spill over to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And lots of walking. Walking's
Yeah,
the best.
and I think more people need to be walking anyway.
Yeah, I think so too. Can we talk about the that 2.5 months of pain?
Yeah.
So, like I said, I disassociated for most of it. I still had pain.
Right. And it was that same nerve pain
Yeah.
on your side, yeah.
Yep. Down the right side. So my life literally was vertical and horizontal. That's
Right.
where I'm at right now. Like sitting right here can flare up the nerve pain, and they said it's going to take just as long as it took to get all that nerve pain for it to go away. To
Right.
don't get upset and think like it didn't work. It's
It
slowly
takes
going
the
away.
time, yeah.
And I'm at 50% less. But during that 2.5 months, it was horrible. Like I felt like my life was over. I couldn't think. I couldn't eat. No one believed me. That was the hardest part.
Well, for somebody who's so active all the time, it's like for having that type of injury. And that was something, I mean, even when we just had the phone conversation after you had the surgery, I said, you know, the reason why you probably did so well is because you are in such good shape.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Very blessed.
you did the yoga, which the yoga probably did contribute to the problem, like you said, but it also gave you the core strength, and the powerlifting and the working out gave you the physical strength to be able to put up with it longer than most people, even though it was also contributing to the problem.
Right.
It also helped you get through the problem.
Exactly. And I don't know if it was endorphins or what. I mean, I was deadlifting and squatting with no pain for a few, like 2 months, and then after the MRI, I decided to stop squatting and deadlifting just in case, because I didn't know what was going on. A lot of my friends probably are done with me complaining about my leg. It's like an invisible pain because no one else can see it. And I mean, anyone out there with invisible pain, like fibromyalgia, all those things, nerve pain, like my heart goes out to you.
Well, and it's no joke, and especially nerve pain like that, you don't know if it's a bone on nerve, type of bone on bone connection that is hurting those nerves, that there's a problem somewhere else. As a guitar player, I've grown up with a guitar strap on my left shoulder. And it works, it zigzags. So my left shoulder, my right hip, my left knee.
That's how it goes.
And that's how it goes. And so you have to understand what you do in your life, hobby or job, that because it's repetitive motion, it will have an effect on your body. And that's why if you know what you're doing, that is that repetitive motion, then find something that offsets that, works out. You can't work out half your body, you have to work out the other half. So if you sit in a chair for a long time because you work in an office job, then go for walks, because you're going to have that sciatica pain, that nerve pain in your hips, and you're going to get those problems in your legs because you're not moving.
And just like, if you do yoga, strength train. If you strength train, do yoga.
Right. You got to have a balance.
You do have to have a balance. So my nights literally looked like I would get home and my car would flare up my nerve pain
Right.
to the point where and with my drop foot, I could hardly even drive anymore because I couldn't even push the brake. And my husband did not believe me at all that there was any pain going on. And I smile because I actually finally went to my general doctor and had a conversation with him, and that's where I got the cortisone shot. And he was like, he gave me a lecture like he was my dad, and he did a bunch of tests on me, and he's like, you're losing reflexes, like you need to get into surgery right away. And I'm looking at all these success stories that didn't have surgery.
So this was during the 2.5 months.
Yeah, this is during the this is 2 weeks before the neurological emergency.
Okay.
Leading up to that, and I just shared with the doctor, I said, it's just really hard to do the resting and the things, because my husband doesn't have the pain, so he doesn't know. The doctor called my husband.
After the surgery?
Before the surgery, 2 weeks before the surgery.
Okay.
And he's like, hey, there's a lot going on. Like, she is in pain. And after he called him, he was like, oh, you are in pain. And I was like, yeah, I've been saying that. But he showed up like my knight in shining armor for the surgery. He took care of the kids afterwards. And he gave me about a good week of, I think he took the kids to school for like 2 weeks and chores around the house and
Gave the princess treatment.
yes.
Yes.
After I think a week and a half, he was like, no, it was like at the 2 week mark, he's like, I'm done. You're better. You have to figure this out. And I was like, okay. So, but he still has to do the dishes and the laundry because I'm not allowed to BLT, bend, twist, and lift.
And twist and lift, yeah.
So I can't
BTL.
take the laundry. I can't take the laundry and put it down in the dryer.
Right,
That's
yeah.
just silly things like that you think.
Yeah, and again, it's like what we were talking about when I was setting up the podcast equipment here. Is like you don't realize sometimes it's one of those things when you sleep wrong, when you twist some muscle in your back, and the next day you're walking around going, what did I do? And then as you're doing everything that you normally do in your life, you don't realize, oh, I need that one obscure muscle in my back, and now that it's twisted, it hurts.
Exactly.
Until something like that happens.
Right.
And then you can't lift anything over 15 pounds. You can't bend, you can't twist, you can't do anything. Yeah.
No, so I'm still able to train
And that's when
people.
the strong, hard-headed people need to hear it, because then they try anyway, and then
Well,
they wonder why it still hurts.
Is there someone else on this podcast?
It's just an observation. We're speaking in generalities. I'm not pointing to anybody in particular over here who would do such a thing.
Me.
Yeah. Oh, well.
That's the hardest part is feeling better now and not engaging in a lot of things. Like I can walk at the gym. I'm able to do like bicep curls and some tricep extensions, some upper
but even
body
those,
stuff.
you're using that, but you're still.
Exactly. I have to be seated.
Yeah.
Think about silly things like taking the weight and setting it on the bench.
Yep. You're using your
Now
whole
I have
body.
to bend, twist, and lift. So I'm like,
the answer
oh,
is no.
exactly. There's a few pieces of machines at the gym that I can use, and the in-person PT that I'm working with right now, that I get laser treatment on my back, and he's helping me with my drop foot. He does the electrical things.
Oh, that's
and I
cool.
have to
Yeah.
like, pull my foot up and hold it. I will send him a picture of the equipment, and I'll say, can I use this? And he will text me back, how are you going to load the weights on that?
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, crap, I didn't even think about that. Lucky for me, I have so many friends.
Oh, I'm
so
sure.
I'm like, excuse me?
Yes.
Can you put some weights on here for me?
Yeah.
So I've been able to do just a little bit in the gym.
Well, and
Yeah.
there's the balance again. Again, talking about balance is you have to, yes, you're very active, and it's good to be very active, especially after getting out of something like that surgery. You don't want to just be the couch potato
Exactly.
and let everything get worse, because then as the muscles heal, they're just going to, it's going to be harder to work out later. But you also, again, it's the balance of you don't want to overdo that, because that's you end up hurting. What is lifting weights? It's tearing muscle to rebuild stronger muscle.
Yep.
So right now, your whole body and your whole back is in rebuild because of surgery.
Yes. So I'm concentrating on walking. I try to hit 10,000 steps a day, approved by my neurosurgeon. B, food. I have to pay attention to what I'm eating because I'll get busy and I won't eat.
Right.
So I have a meal plan that's written out for me, and I've been following it.
So what's in your meal plan? Let's talk about that for a minute.
It's just generally ground beef, chicken, and rice. I got some yogurt and some blueberries for the evening, and
Look out soon for the Sonya official rice cooker with her face on it.
that would sell.
It would.
I
There
think.
you go. Yeah.
I mean, would you buy
Definitely.
it? I'd buy it.
The Insta Sonya.
Rice cooker is
Yes.
life.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have one and I use it. And even thinking about, okay, here's another thing. I have like a big, huge, like a 20-pound bag of rice.
Right.
I keep it on the floor in my bog bag. Yes, in my bog bag.
What's a bog bag?
Bog bag. It's a fancy beach bag for us girls.
Okay.
You wouldn't know.
No, I wouldn't.
And so I have to take the pan from the rice cooker,
Bend,
put
lift,
it
and twist.
down on the floor because I can't bend, lift, and twist that.
Mm-hmm.
But I can kneel down on my knees, do the scoops, and then
She's
I can
gonna do it anyway.
sit up and I put it up on the counter,
Yeah.
and then I stand up. Then I'm not bending, lifting, or twisting. Adapt and conquer.
Improvise, adapt, overcome.
That's right.
Don't you have a little helper in your house anyway?
No one helps.
Your son?
Oh yeah, no.
Say, get over here, do that.
No. He's not really into helping.
Scoop the rice.
He was really into helping the first week.
Oh, yeah.
He was scared. That poor little shark boy. I've never seen him so timid and shy as he was when he visited me in the hospital. And yeah, he was scared.
It's tough.
Poor little guy.
Yeah.
But now he knows I'm home and I'm safe, and now he
No,
doesn't
he's
care
like,
anymore.
Yeah, you scoop the rice.
You scooped the rice, lady.
Yeah. Okay. So ground beef. And so when you do your meal prep, let's talk about that some more. So with the meal prepping stuff, do you like to, because obviously a rice cooker or Instapot thing like that
Yeah.
can cook a big batch of rice.
Right.
So how far out do you like to meal prep? Just a week, 10 days,
So
2
I
weeks?
like to do my meal prep on Mondays. And Shark Boy and I are the only ones that eat the meals really. He is obsessed with my meal prep, so I have to share with him. So it'll give me about a good week of food, and then on the
And
weekends.
how much food, like what is a serving size?
So it all depends on your goals.
Okay.
So if you want to know more, let me know. I could help you with that. But I do about 5 ounces of protein and about 150 grams of rice.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
Good.
fun.
Yeah. And
And
so
it-
for how many days?
It doesn't, well, I try to do it 7 days a week, but we have the weekends that show up. And if we go somewhere, I try to stay mindful of what my parameters are.
Right.
So,
But as far as you're cooking it a week out.
yes,
every
I
week.
cook it about a week out. Like
Okay.
I meal prep
Keeps it
Monday through
fresh.
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I allow myself some variation through the weekends. I mean, if you want to stay on and get results, 7 days a week.
Right. Oh,
You
well,
know?
yeah.
On the weekends, I try to do like a steak and then like a side of mashed potatoes or something with variety.
Basically the same family of nutrients, just in a
Yes.
different form.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
very creative, so I try.
And how are we doing with the alcohol?
Alcohol is still a problem. It is a problem. So I allow myself drinks on Saturdays. I didn't drink much at all, after the surgery because I'm healing. But
Right.
now I'm getting better. I actually play ladies' game night on Saturday nights at my house, and we play dominoes. And my other friends like to have some toddies, so sometimes I like to have some toddies, but I strictly keep it to Saturdays. And So not as bad as it
Very
was
good.
before.
Yes.
And
Well, and that's the thing, and that's something else that should be talked about more is, and that's certainly the epidemic we're having in our country right now as far as the opioids.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody goes through a surgery like that, it
Yeah.
is extremely easy for somebody to get hooked on the opioid pills and going,
Right.
well, this pain isn't going to go away, and I have to take this,
Right.
because it becomes a mental thing.
yeah,
if
it
they
became
don't
mental
have it-
for me as well. Like, so I grew up taking Ritalin my whole life. So pills are just not my thing. I don't like to take pills. I did have to take them for the surgery, but by the end, I was just taking inventory. Like, am I taking these now just because I have
Right.
to take them, or
because
I
you
have
want to.
pain?
Right.
So I would make sure that I was at least on a 5 pain scale before I took them. And then it made them last a little bit longer.
Right.
Because nighttime is hard for me. I hit that 6 p.m. and it's like I hit a wall. I'm exhausted. My nerve pain flares back up, and horizontal or the other way. Vertical. There
Yes.
we go. There's too many thoughts in my head at one time.
Yes.
But yeah, so,
Yeah.
and I know people could get hooked on those really, really fast because you start, feeling better, and then you're taking them, but they're really, really strict
Or
with them.
yes, they are. Or they trade the pill for the alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. And alcohol doesn't relieve my pain, so
Right.
it just makes it worse the next day.
Yeah, right,
And I know that. So that's why I allow myself some in moderation, on Saturdays. So,
Yeah.
but
Very good.
eventually I'll be doing another fast, and probably going to challenge you guys to do another fast with me if you still drink alcohol.
I need the brownie fast. That's my problem.
Yeah, sugar fast. I always do
Yeah.
a sugar fast at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
So-
because then it's after the holidays, after you've had the pumpkin pies for Thanksgiving, had the goodies for Christmas. Yeah.
And at the beginning of the year, I'm actually going to start up my yoga again.
Good.
And I'll be doing the 2 somatic movement classes, which are yoga but aren't yoga.
So what is that?
So the somatic movement is just moving trauma through your body, teaching you ways to inevitably, when I'm in a crisis situation or there's a Karen next to me in the grocery store, instead of punching her in the face or completely
redirect.
disassociating in a crisis situation,
Yes.
I teach the tools. I say the little fanny pack, the tools. You can take your tools out of your fanny pack, do your breath work, do your movement, do your mind-body connections. It's a beautiful class. I love teaching that class.
Good.
And then I'm bringing Primal back, which Primal is a mix of a little bit of yoga. That's the trap. I call it yoga, and then I get
Right.
them there.
And then you're like, this is different.
Exactly. This is a woman-only class because we do strength training, we do Pilates, we do some static shake. Do you know what static shake
No,
is?
I don't. What is that?
Some call it twerking.
Okay.
That's why it's woman only.
Come on. My hair's long enough.
You could try to get disguised, if you want. But yeah, that class is really awesome. And as of right now, I have 2 spots left for personal training. I started doing that this week, getting back into the personal training.
Very good.
Yep. So
Excellent.
on the mend and being mindful of my movement.
Good.
All my clients have to do their own lifting. Like,
Right.
get that weight,
Yeah.
take that medicine.
that,
I
do
might
that.
drag that one out a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's good for them.
Yeah,
it's
it
good for
is.
them anyway.
Yeah, it's more work.
Yeah. Well, Sonya got a lot of requests about wondering what was going on, so we wanted to make sure we got on here and did a podcast talking all
Yep.
about it. So if this helped you in any way, make sure you hit the like button, comment down below. If you've gone through something similar, we want to know how is your recovery. So, don't be afraid. It's okay. We just spent practically an hour talking about what one person goes through,
Yeah.
going through an emergency surgery like that, not on your finger, but on the whole back. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of trauma that can, cause somebody physically and mentally. So it's okay to talk about it. So don't be afraid to drop a comment down below. Let us know what you've gone through and how you've gotten over it as well and pushed forward. And share the show with friends you know and who might be going through something similar, because talking about things like this certainly always help, and you have to
Yes.
talk about it.
And I have legs, and they move, and they
Yeah.
work. So
So go
grateful
walk.
for that. Go for a walk.
Go for a walk.
Yeah.
It's very good. So like, comment, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't miss an episode.
Don't miss an episode. They're back.
They're back.
Yeah.
We're back.
Conversations are happening.
That's right.
I'm going to have a microphone in the back one of these days when there's other
can't
people
wait.
talking.
I
Yeah.
can't wait.
That way you can hear the producer's 2 cents.
That's
Ha.
right.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. So anything else you want to add?
Just thank you to this beautiful Fusion Cantina.
Yes.
Come by, check out this place. They're open for dinner after 4.
Yep.
And
Tuesday through Saturday.
Tuesday through Saturday. This guy's here playing the guitar.
Yeah. Tuesday, December 2nd, 5:30 to 8:30.
Yeah, come get some food, and it's the best food in town, I swear.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Just happy to be back here and in my home, from yoga studio to restaurant.
Yes.
And she did it.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
Definitely.
Come visit.
Well, welcome back. I'm glad you're
you.
feeling better.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will see you in the next show.